I want to give a very quick overview of some pending antitrust legislation or proposals. For some of these, I'm not even sure pending is the word I'd use. Because both of these deals we talked about, NVIDIA, Lockheed Martin, regulatory issues seem to be at the heart of why they're not happening, or why they probably will not happen. So earlier last year, a set of about 6 bills got proposed in Congress to update our antitrust laws. So here's the thing, right? The current antitrust laws we have are about 100 years old, and they've been updated since then from time to time. But we're still stuck with this 100-year-old regime that doesn't necessarily capture the reality or acknowledge the reality of the modern business world in many cases. So every once in a while, you always get some groups of senators or regulators who say, we kind of need to update some stuff. We really need to take a serious look at this. So that might be happening right now. But all of these bills, you see 6 of them, they're not really a massive update from my perspective. These are small little tweaks, mainly targeting the tech industry. Stuff like that first one you see, the name of that bill is the Ending Platform Monopolies Act. The idea here is an online platform can't own a business that uses that platform to sell its own goods or services, right? So you think here about Amazon, right? The issue is, can Amazon operate its platform that allows third-party sellers to sell through while selling first-party goods itself? That's what this is trying to prohibit, right? Then you look at the second one here, the American Innovation and Choice Online Act. The idea here is, if you have a platform, you can't preference your own services over those of another business that might use the platform. Think Apple and Alphabet and their mobile app stores. That's kind of what is being targeted here. Apple, they can't say, oh, we're going to preference our browser in this app store over a third party, right? That idea. The other one, the Access Act, the idea here, the third one there on the left, is portability and switching. Consumers can take their data with them, right? So it kind of makes it harder for you to lock in. Like if I want to go from Facebook to another social network, I should be able to take all of my data with me, right? Data protection issues in that as well. Over on the right-hand side, you've got merger restrictions are out there. This, I think, would be the more significant tweak, potentially. It's called the Platform Competition Opportunity Act. It sets a threshold at which you wouldn't be able to acquire competitors. This would put a serious dent in M&A activity if this were to go through, at least in the tech industry, depending on what those restrictions would end up being. There's a small little one dealing with venue. This is kind of a technical legal thing, but the idea of being here, if a state attorney general wants to bring an antitrust suit under state law, they can pick the court they want to file in, which gives them a potential advantage there. And then you've got this, the last one is the Merger Fee Filing Modernization Act. Increases filing fees. Every time you do a merger or want to do a merger, you have to make a filing. You pay a fee for that. This is how they're kind of going to pay for some of this stuff, by increasing those filing fees, right? So nothing major, a few tweaks, but the more recent news here is with that second one I talked about, the American Innovation and Choice Online Act. This was the one that says a platform can't promote or preference its own services over those of another business that uses that platform. This just moved out of committee in the Senate like January 20th, so just a couple of weeks ago. They've moved this out of committee, brought it to the floor. It would apply to companies with $550 million market cap or more than that, and over 50 million monthly active users. So you look at those thresholds, these are big companies. Who are they targeting? Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta. Those companies are the ones that are going to be implicated by this. They amended it to pick up some foreign companies like TikTok might be caught up in this. We have some senators are saying that, hey, we need to see some tweaks to this before we're going to support it on the floor. If we do, California, the 2 senators from California are upset that the legislation basically, they say, is designed to target specific companies from California. And they're not wrong, honestly, other than Amazon. 3 of those 4 are California-based companies. So in fairness, they have a solid point. So they're pushing back on that, right? It hasn't been yet brought up to a vote in the House. And recall, I don't want to get too political here, but the Speaker of the House is from California. So, that issue too. I don't know how far this is going to go, but earlier at the end of last year, I kind of thought all this was dead. And then now one of these has made it out of committee. So it looks like there might be some action on some of this at some point. If any or all of these bills or proposals like them actually become law this year, it'll have an impact on M&A activity, I think. So it's definitely something to work and to watch, rather. And again, the focus here is on the tech industry, specifically big tech companies. So maybe a company like NVIDIA, though they're not quite picked up by any of this, except maybe some of the merger restrictions people are talking about. But you think about historically companies like Microsoft and Alphabet and Amazon and Facebook and Apple doing all these tuck-in acquisitions of these companies. That might be at risk if for good, and there's good reasons to not want to do that. You can also see some downsides to putting too many restrictions in place. So definitely something to watch, to keep an eye on, and we'll keep updating you on this if any major news comes out of this.